Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. This afternoon, we'll be speaking to Jack Shen Lim, Pharmacist and Treasurer of the Malaysian Pharmaceutical Society. Hi, Jack. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, good afternoon. The pleasure is all mine.
Thank you. So, while a few months or a year ago, anyone wearing a face mask in public would have drawn much attention to this very unused behavior. However, today, they are a reminder of the pandemic we fought through and are still living in. Today, Jack will be providing us with a clear understanding on the face mask and its different types. So, Jack, firstly, could you let us know the different type of face masks available?
Well, generally, you can say that the face masks are divided into three big categories.
Mm-hmm.
You have the cloth mask. Let me show you as I explain.
Yes.
So I just went down to the pharmacy and got one of these. This is actually a cloth mask where you can actually so you can see it's a soft fabric material. Okay, and it fits over the face like this. Okay, so this is a cloth mask. The other type is either a 3-ply or 4-ply mask, which is actually a surgical mask, which comes in like that. I'm not taking it out of this plastic. I don't want to waste one. But I have one that I've been demonstrating to people. So this is actually a 3-ply mask. This is actually a 4-ply mask. The difference is that there are different types of 4-ply masks. One question people always ask is, do you wear the color one outside? You do whatever that's in the box. Okay, this one is the colors on the outside. This one, the colors on the inside. So it really depends on how the mask is designed. And of course, the last type you have is a N95 respirator like this. This is actually a particulate version, the 3M one, and also a medical version, but they are the same, similar in nature. It's a N95 mask, right? Like that. So these are the three main categories of mask.
So based on the many face masks you shared with us, right, are there like a particular face mask that works best for people with respiratory issues such as asthma?
Okay, so when you have asthma, one of the concerns with regards to wearing a mask with asthma is because basically, essentially, you need to make sure that you can breathe properly. Okay, so a surgical mask usually is fine, but as we always say and we talk to our patients, is that you have to make sure that you're comfortable when you're wearing the mask. If you feel as if you are a little bit giddy or having a headache, then most likely you need to take it off and not wear it that often. So asthma patients can wear masks. That's not an issue. It's just a matter of you need to know yourself. And make sure that you can breathe properly, breathe easy, the right word to use.
Like you mentioned, right, if they're having difficulties in breathings and all, just remove their mask. So sometimes people remove their mask as in they just leave it under their chin. Is that a right way to do so?
No, absolutely not. It's called a face mask, not a chin mask. Okay, that's it's not something that you want to do that, because actually, in fact, you're actually contaminating the mask as well as you're also opening yourself to whatever is on the mask. So if you look at the mask again, you have an outer layer where as you breathe, the particles and it filters. So whatever that is filtered out stays on the mask. So imagine if you are putting it like that, you are actually contaminating it and contributing it, and we still need your face. So the is take off your mask if you need to, just for a short while. If you're using it, if you are going to not wear it for a long time and you're wearing for 2-3 hours, it's best for you to get a new mask. Don't reuse a mask. These masks are single use. But if it's only temporary for a short time, I carry with myself a resealable bag. So you fold the mask and you put it into the resealable bag and seal it and you put it on the table. So I think that's the best way for you to keep your mask relatively contaminant free, as well as not contaminating it anywhere else with the mask.
So like when it comes to masks, right, is there a safe way to wear a mask, or as in an appropriate way to wear or to remove it?
Okay, the safe way to wear a mask, first thing first, when it comes to wearing a mask, wash your hands. Okay.
Okay.
Make sure you wash your hands before you actually wear a mask.
Yeah.
And when you wear a mask, because it's a fresh mask, there's no
Mm-hmm.
problem for you to handling it. But you just should only handle the outside of the mask, and you put it
Okay.
over like that. Then the next step you need to do is that you have to secure the mask
Mm-hmm.
by pushing down the nose strap, the nose bar, and you make sure that it's tight. Okay, I have a very big face, so it's fine for me. So you actually can test when you breathe through it. You
Mm-hmm.
can actually breathe through the mask, not from the side of the mask. If the mask is too big,
Yep.
as gaps, then it defeats the purpose of having such a mask.
Yep.
So basically, you have to make sure it's airtight around it.
Okay.
You actually breathe through the mask. So that's how you wear a mask. When you take it off, it's the same thing. Avoid touching the outside of the mask. Okay.
Okay.
Either you fold it to dispose it, or you put it into your plastic bag
Mm-hmm.
when you're using temporarily. And after you do the same thing, once you get rid of a mask, wash your hands again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is actually the best way to do it. You need to actually have that
Yes.
in place. Your hands must be
Mm-hmm.
clean. Yeah. And that's the best way to actually put a mask.
Yeah.
Take
Okay.
it off. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Apart from that, right, in your opinion, do you think it's a good idea to reuse disposable face mask, whether it's a 3-layer or 4-layer?
Personally, I don't think it's advisable. It's
Mm-hmm.
not advisable to reuse the mask because the masks are made to be single use only. Okay.
Okay.
In fact, there are some guidelines that are in place about masks. You shouldn't wear it for more than 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If you get wet, because
Mm-hmm.
when you breathe or when you get wet, actually replace the mask.
Yeah.
Things like that. So I don't recommend you actually doing that in reusing a single-use mask.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, like now, apart from disposable face masks, it's becoming a trend now where many people are opting for cloth face masks, like the one you showed earlier, the black
Yeah.
one. So could you share with us what is the right way to care for a cloth face mask, and how often should people wash it? Because sometimes, right, people tend to leave it in their cars or in their bags and then just reuse them without even washing it.
Okay, so first off the bat, I don't actually personally recommend to use a cloth mask. Okay,
Okay.
unless it is those masks that comes with the inner filter layer that can be replaced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the key thing is that if a simple cloth mask without a filter layer doesn't
Mm-hmm.
actually do much to filter out the small particles, the small virus particles and bacterial
Mm-hmm.
particles. And in a way, it's more to prevent you from coughing if you are
Yeah.
coughing to
Mm-hmm.
spread and the aerolize it. Yeah, so I would always recommend a surgical mask
Okay.
where there is a standard in place where a certain amount, a percentage of bacteria particles and virus particles are filtered out. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really do have to wear a cloth mask,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest you get 3 of them.
Okay.
Okay, and you rotate because you need to wash it. Like a single-use mask
Uh-huh.
on a 3-ply, we don't recommend you use it more than 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Similar for a cloth mask. So then you actually need to wash it. Okay, and the recommendation to washing it is you wash it usually in a separate load from your normal clothes.
Mm-hmm.
That may be possible either with warm water,
Okay.
okay, and a tad warm water with soap, okay,
Yeah.
and then you let it dry, okay, and you have to dry it in the sun for a period of time. Yeah,
Ah.
and the
Okay.
reason why I say 3 is because that's the other thing. Based on studies shown, time is actually a very good killer of the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
The viral particles don't stay out on the surface for more than 72 hours.
Yeah.
So if you wash it, you hang it, and you got 2 other masks where you are rotating it 3
Mm-hmm.
days, about 72 hours, then the viral particle will degrade. Then you will
Okay.
have more or less a good mask again. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So even the cloth mask, right, you should not wear it for more than 8 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because not you when you breathe, you actually have moisture in your breath. So
Yeah.
it is a very good environment, a very
Mm-hmm.
comfortable environment for bacteria and viruses. And coronavirus is not the only virus or bacteria around. So there are other things that may actually cause illness,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not very hygienic to wear any mask for a long period of time.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now, what are the things that people should know when they're buying a mask? Like, are there a particular size they should be looking for?
Okay, so when you get a mask, the first thing first is there is a size. The size
Mm-hmm.
is it makes sure that you should have a mask that fits your face.
Okay.
Okay, so there are children masks out there for
Mm-hmm.
children, and there are also adult masks.
Okay.
So different sizes is something that of note. The main thing is you need to fit around your face tightly. Okay, so
Okay.
it has to fit tightly. So there are masks that if your mask have elastic and the elastic doesn't really work,
Yeah.
you may need to not I mean not doesn't really work. The word is it doesn't really fit. So you may have to
Mm-hmm.
tie it behind. So some people have that clip,
Yep.
clip it behind. And there are some masks that is fully tight. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's more adjustable. So that
Yeah.
is actually the main thing. The second thing when you look at masks is, for example, a 3-ply mask. You need to avoid scams. You need to avoid dubious or unknown websites or people selling it to you in plastic bags on the
Yep.
roadside, all that, because
Yes.
they may not be mask that has been certified to
Mm-hmm.
actually keep the particle out. So I would recommend you to go to a pharmacy,
Mm-hmm.
if possible, to get a mask. The pharmacies usually have more than one type of mask where you
Yeah.
can, and the pharmacist will be at hand to take you through it. Then usually, if possible, you should have a mask where you know the manufacturer. You know
Okay.
that there is a particle filtration rate of above 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So that is actually for a 3-ply mask. If you are getting a respirator, like this one, N95
Yeah.
is actually a NIOSH standard,
Okay.
NIOSH, a NIOSH standard, so it should be NIOSH certified. That again, you need to make sure that with the standards, and the standards are in place to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the particles are removed.
Yeah,
So
okay.
if it doesn't have that, it's not tested for that, then what you're doing is you're putting something over your face, and
Mm-hmm.
which doesn't help you at all in any way. Yeah.
Yep.
So these
So
are
it,
the basic things you need to actually look
yeah,
when you get the.
because nowadays you can actually see so many masks being sold at night markets or across the streets and all, and you can actually see people lining up to buy those masks, which
Yeah.
is actually not advisable, as you say.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Lastly, right, what about homemade mask? Would you recommend it?
Personally, I don't recommend homemade mask.
Mm-hmm.
Usually when you're homemade, you're talking about cloth mask. Okay,
Yep.
it's all you can read your own design and things. I
Mm-hmm.
don't recommend it because number one, your filter,
Okay.
you're not sure how well it's filtering out particles,
Yep.
and so that's why I always recommend our patients to actually get 3-ply masks.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mask manufacturer will certify
Mm-hmm.
it's filtered out certain particles. It is good. The materials are good for you and things like that. And so
Yep.
that's probably the best to do
Yes.
so. Yeah, rather than making your own mask. Besides, in Malaysia, we do have a good wide selection of masks available. They're already made.
Yes.
So I don't see a reason why we need to.
Mm-hmm.
If possible, yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
So people should actually go to the nearest pharmacies to
Yeah.
get a good quality face mask,
Correct.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's always the best.
Yeah. Okay. That's all for now. Thank you so much for taking your time off your busy schedule and sharing with us some great information on face masks and all.
No problem. Glad to be of help. Actually, you can actually get a lot of this information from the MPS, the Malaysian Pharmaceutical Society as well.
Okay.
We have a chapter, the Young Pharmacist chapter. They actually have a very good series of posters that are online that you can
Okay.
actually get information on the mask, how to wear it, what type of mask, the differences, and all so on and so forth. Yes.
So, just visit Malaysian Pharmaceutical Society
Yes.
website.
Yes, on the website. It's also on the Young Pharmacist chapter Facebook.
Okay, yes.
The MPS Facebook. So there are more ways you can get information, and we are always willing to help.
Yes, I think now everybody should be going and searching for that website and the Facebook content you were sharing to us about. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Pleasure all mine again. Thank you.
Thank you.